Another day driving to find where you're at. Got car keys, lady silvers, and my trusty black hat. We're leaving home in Atlanta. Got a long drive ahead. We will never stop searching for you, for you. The jailer is waiting, keys in hand. Lock away the guilty, far away from my land. America, home of the free. We must keep searching, you and me. We must all stand together. You and me. The jailer's keys are waiting. The jailer's keys are waiting for you if you're guilty. 75. Good morning, everybody. How are you all this morning? The jailer's waiting. Keys in hand. Come on in, everybody. We're going to have some fun now. Let me turn this down. We must keep searching, you and me. We must all stand together, yeah. You and me. I love these guys. I love these guys. These are the Sebastian Rogers dogs, as I'm going to call them from now on. Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you all? Let me just shut them down for a moment and see. I had something on here also I wanted to share with you. And no, that wasn't it, was it? No. And here we go. Here we go. It was on this. No, it wasn't there either. Well, what the heck happened to what I was? There we are. The forensic app. That's what I want to talk about real quickly. Don't go anywhere. Here we go. Let's get this going, folks. Let me get my notes from over here. I did not type them out this morning. In fact, I sat down and hand wrote these. If you'd like them, I'll autograph it and mail it to you. Just send me a message. Send me a text. You know, I'm a texter. I don't answer the telephone, but I do reply to text messages. So my phone number is not that hard to find. I don't see it here, but it's all over online, right? So you can get it there. But listen, I wanted to talk about a few things this morning, if I may. And that is, first off, wearing green for Sebastian on Tuesdays. You know, I decided that I put this on this morning and I said, you know, this is kind of like a summery shirt. It's 19 degrees outside. Oh yes, 19 degrees here in Virginia Beach. But it got me thinking, if I'm going to do this on Tuesdays, why aren't I wearing green on Tuesdays, right? For Sebastian. And you know what? I'm 10 hours away from Hendersonville, Tennessee, but I think it would be so cool to walk into any store and then go on Tuesdays, wow, the majority of people here are wearing green. You feel me there? You feel me there? I hope you do. So that was that, wearing green on Tuesdays. I hope you'll join me in that. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. Listen, very important comments. I don't see all the live comments. I don't know why. I see the majority of them, but I want to encourage you to leave a comment in the comment section after the live stream. So if you're watching this and it's not 8 a.m. on Tuesday, January 27th, you can type a comment in because it'll go to the comments, right? But live streams, be aware of that, especially when I do random giveaways and such. I look at that. I look at the comments to see, is your address there? How do I send you a prize, right? Well, too much of that work is on me now. I'm putting it on you, the award winner. If you win a prize, you have to reach me within 48 hours of my announcement online, right? I don't know how I'm going to do this yet, but I'm going to start some kind of a timer, but we'll talk more on that later. Leave a comment after the live stream has ended. Although if you have a great idea right now and it's live, type it in because I don't want you to forget it. And then maybe post it in the regular comment section after the live. I don't know. You'll figure it out. So listen, today, it is Shocking Truth Tuesday as I see it today. These are things that I see that I think should be looked at again, that just stood out to my eyes as I looked around, right? And this morning, what I was doing was thinking about Sebastian Rogers and what was I going to talk about. The last few weeks, I've talked about the Sebastian Rogers app. That's what I like to call it. But the forensic app is what I've named it. And that's the TFA. Now, I have no experience at all coding or building an app. And the reason I point that out, I'm going to show you the code to this, and we'll come back to that. So here's the code to the app as I have created it so far. This is coding. Now, I don't know, TSX, I got to go back and figure out, is this ASCII, or what kind of code is this? So I'll figure that out. But I am working on this. If I go to preview, here is the website. Boy, I just jumped right into this too. Excuse me. The forensic app, I've spent an hour a week doing this, right? And I've got a lot going on and I have plenty of time. So I thought, let me double that up. Let me start doing 2 hours a week, right? So I'm going to start doing 2 hours per week on this app and learning more about building it. And that's going to be a minimum of 8 hours per month, right? The commitment I've just made to myself. I'm my best boss and I'm my worst boss. I can't get away with jack working for myself. Anyways, so I am using aistudio.google.com. And then I have on here to review the evidence vault. The app, oh, this is it. I'm so excited about this. The app is absolutely coming alive, right? I talk about artificial intelligence and how eventually we're going to be able to merge together. We're already merging, folks. You may not realize it, but here's another example. So I'm going to bring this around so you can see a little closer. Let me see if I can remember where I was here. Oh, whoa! No, I'm not falling. Neither are you. Well, let's take a look at this together real quick. All right, this is what I've got so far. Oh, nobody's on the live. Okay, well, I'm still going to do this because I'm not really doing it for you. I'm doing it for Sebastian. But look, I've got the first evidence vault in with Sebastian. And the things I want to point out here, where's my magic mouse? There it is. Things I want to point out here is this came from Tennessee. These two I have not added. They came in on their own. They've been merged into this app without my help. And this one came from California, missing 2023. Here's one missing in 24. I put the FBI picture there, our logo, because I didn't have a picture. I didn't see a picture for this guy. But this one came out of Florida, right? So I don't even have a working app yet. Follow me here. I don't even have a working app yet. And already AI is saying, hey, this is more of what you're going to want to look at, right? So let's look at Sebastian's. Now, I typed this in, but this one I just found out it looked different to me, right? I couldn't figure out why it looked so different. And then I clicked here and I saw down here it says Sumner County Sheriff Department. So this came in generated from the Sumner County Sheriff Department into the AI app I'm building. Let me get back to Evidence Vault. Into the app that I'm building. Let me back away from there now. Get you back over here and set. So the app I'm building is absolutely coming alive. I mean, on its own, it's coming alive, right? I'm just, like I said, I'm so excited by this because it's like I did something. I did it. I created this. I'm figuring this out. I've opened up a doorway that allows other missing people, children, or what have you, in to my evidence vault. What is the evidence vault? It's going to be all the notes, all the pictures, all the videos, every little bit of evidence, all the dog handlers, all Dog the Bounty Hunter. What's his story? Is he only interested in the, let's add a cover his name up there, Dog the Bounty Hunter? Is he only interested in the $500,000 reward? Because I don't hear any more from him. But all the notes need to go in here. Now, I'm going to honorable mention to Madeline Bolden. She was 12 years old, or she is 12 years old, disappeared on November 14th, 2023. Julian Delgado, Hispanic male, missing since January 5th, 2024. Look those names up, folks, because I haven't really publicized this. That's amazing. I haven't publicized it, and yet AI is working with me and adding stuff, right? That is what I'm talking about. The forensic app, the AI app, the Sebastian Rogers app. Let me read what I wrote here. A software application designed to aid in the investigation of locating missing and exploited children. Sebastian, uncovering those responsible regardless of their level of involvement, leading to their arrest as well. Yeah, that could be you. Maybe you had nothing to do with his disappearance, but you heard about it afterwards along family lines and family ties, and now you know more than you wish you had known. Call the FBI, get it off your conscience. Help us bring this case to a close. Oh, I got ahead of myself. Also down here I wrote, in the sincerest hope that a clearinghouse of all information be created and available for all. That includes you too, you the viewer, not just law enforcement, everybody, available to post, view, record, and add to, including all videos, video clips, audio recordings, and any and all tips, no matter how small. Here's why. Because the more we put stuff into this app, when it's done, the app will automatically go, nope, false, 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 maybe. Look, it'll go in and do all this stuff, saving us hours and hours and days and weeks and months, preventing things like this from going cold case, right? I just picked up this. The jailer's waiting, the key's in hand. So if you've got knowledge on this, you better do something before you're hearing that key close the cell behind you. So anyways, that's that. Let me keep moving here. I talked about that, the excitement I have about this app coming alive. I'm going to keep working on that. That's more later. Let me close that down because, well, I'll just leave it up there. What the heck? I wonder, can I close that yet? Nope. I haven't figured it all out yet, but I'm working on it. I am working on it. I am going to make this happen. Yeah. So let's get on to today's shocking truth as I see it today, which all of that was as well. But I think, tell me what you think, because this is just what I think, right? And what I think is just a thought. Let me preempt the rest of this video right now. There are trigger warnings listed in my description, and I want to invite each and every one of you to take a look at those trigger warnings if you have triggers. But I'm gonna cover, especially when I get down to this part here, because I thought, oh my God, this is really thought-provoking. I'll put another trigger warning when I get to that page. Because I want everybody, I don't want to shock anybody or put an idea in anybody's head that you didn't want in your head. But I've got some things I want to put out there because I know artificial intelligence is listening. It listens to my phone. It listens to my mic at my computer. It hears me in my car, and it's probably watching me from my television now. And you know what I'm talking about. You're sitting there watching television, kind of looking at your phone. Your significant other goes, "Are you going to get Boston baked beans this weekend?" And you're like, "I don't know. I'm not write it down." And then you scroll down your page, and there's cans of Boston baked beans. Right? You're looking at Netflix, YouTube, Paramount Plus. You're looking at one of those streaming services, and it says, "Here comes your little 30-second, 5-second video," and you're watching your show, and all of a sudden it's baked beans. That's the power of artificial intelligence, folks. And when we harness it and put it in an application that's designed to be publicly used around the globe by everybody and anybody, knowing that the artificial intelligence in the background running will either disseminate and destroy false leads and those who support them, false leads. If it's a false lead and there's no truth to it, be warned, you might lose access to this app for that case, right? That's how smart this app can be. Not as smart as me, not as smart as you, not as smart as me and you together, not as smart as me and you and all of my family and your family together. AI will be as smart as the entire globe. That's pretty smart. Okay, so here's what we need to do. I believe today, talking about Sebastian Rogers. See, I got to reduce this because I'll keep talking about the app. Where's my dogs at? Are my dogs still there? No, my dogs are gone. But I believe at this point, coming up on the second year anniversary, coming up February 25th, a little over a month from now, a little under a month from now, I believe we need this. We need to hear from Katie Proudfoot, the biological mother of Sebastian Rogers, and Christopher Bowersox Proudfoot. I don't know if he's a Bowersox stepchild or a redheaded, whatever, herring or whatever, but Christopher Proudfoot, the stepfather. Those of you who have been following this case know all about them because we've been watching and listening and looking and hoping for more information from them. Sebastian's biological stepfather, Seth Rogers, is very outspoken. He wants to find his child. He refuses to believe that he's passed. I don't want to believe that either. But I've got some concerns based on what Chris Proudfoot has said. I'm going to share them with you. Before I get to that, I want to challenge everybody on this one because I've been watching the First Amendment auditors online, and I've been watching the stuff going on in Minneapolis and all the sanctuary cities and all the safe cities, and I've been watching the wars going on around the world, Venezuela, Iran, all this chaos. Now we're not talking about Russia and Ukraine. Why? I haven't heard that there was a peace deal reached. As far as I know, they're still fighting. What are we talking about today? The weather? The Proudfoots, Chris and Katie. Where are they? Where are they? They're no longer in Hendersonville, Tennessee, so heaven help Sebastian. He gets smart enough by his 17th birthday to return home to find another family living there. I heard Dolly say, why would grandparents go on their Alaska trip while their grandson had just been reported missing? I mean, I could see 6 months, a year later, but within the first 30, 60 days, why wouldn't everybody be all hands on deck instead of the Proudfoots going, close the door, lock it, don't let anybody in, don't answer the phone, don't respond to those requests? Almost as if he failed his own rules. Maybe he had a couple drinks when he'd pick up the phone and start calling other influencers and mouthing off. Well, he mouthed off a couple things that still resonate in my mind. We're getting there. Proof of residence, folks. Where are they? Where do they live? Aren't these public records? Proof of employment. Where are they working at now? Right? Now, you may not be able to go into their place of employment or onto their property, but as an American citizen, you're allowed to stand on public sidewalks, public easements. If there is no sidewalk, you've got about 4 or 5 feet from the street into a yard, and you'll know it. It won't be fenced in. It'll have a fire hydrant or mailboxes. That's a public easement area around where a sidewalk would be, right? Why don't we offer money, a bounty of any, I don't care, let's come up with numbers for current photos or video recordings of Kristen, Katie Proudfoot in public. It's no different than watching for, I don't know, Robert De Niro, Tom Cruise, seeing them in public, following them around, trying to find out where they're at, standing outside their house, standing outside where they work. We're allowed to do that, folks. I'm 10 hours away. Believe me, if I was an hour away, I'd be all over Hendersonville. So, in fact, I'm still entertaining the idea of driving out there on a Tuesday, coming back on Thursday, spending a couple nights out in Hendersonville, seeing what I can see, like Silver's on the scene, right? He goes out and looks. He does more than what I do on Tuesdays. I just do Tuesdays for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I think about him every day. How about you? Really? Why don't we offer money or bounties for photos or live stream current videos of where they are, where they're living, where they work? Why don't we know this stuff? I'm curious. Would we find out that they've left the country and they're actually living in the Bahamas right now? I mean, do you know? Do you? Why not let everybody know? Is it a secret? Should it be a secret? Brings me to my next point. I still haven't got to Chris's quotes. My next point, I think we the people, or we with the knowledge and power and the know-how, demand separate interviews and polygraphs for Chris and Katie, right? If they have nothing to hide, they should have no problems going into the, I was going to say summer, no, the Tennessee, no, the FBI, yeah. I think the FBI needs to do this. Why don't they do, in the Nashville office, why don't they bring them both in, don't tell them the questions in advance, the questions that are going to be asked of them in an interview and on the polygraph. Don't let them know. Make them the same questions. Let them both answer privately, not knowing what the other one said, not discussing all this because they know the questions in advance. I'd love to hear how those two stories unraveled, because they would unravel. Why not? Why not, FBI? Why not bring them in? You're in Nashville, you're in Tennessee, you have an office right there. Why not request that they both come in to be interviewed again? Do we have to wait till it becomes a 10-year-old case? No. No, with the forensic app, that will not happen. Now, here's what I can't get over. Here's the comments. 2 things that Chris Proudfoot said that I heard online. And if you heard it online, please type it in the comments. If you have not heard it online and you go looking for it and you find it, please come back and leave the link. But here's the first thing he said, which really keeps bugging the crap out of me, right? He said, well, Sebastian finally did something right. He vanished without a trace like a ninja. Is he making a joke? And why would he say he finally did something right? As if he never did or does anything right? Chris, you need to answer that. Why would you say he finally did something right? We're just speculating. We don't know. Why are you keeping it a secret? Are you hiding? Are you scared, Chris? Are you scared? Do you need mommy and daddy? Tell the truth. Be a man. Men tell the truth. And I see you there. Here's another thing he said that I'll never forget, because he said the word never. You with me? Any of you know what I'm about to talk about? If you know the other second shocking thing I heard him say online, he said, he will never be found. He will never be found. How do you know that, Chris? Why would you say that? Again, we don't know what's in your head. We can only speculate. But you said he did something right by vanishing and he will never be found. I don't know about you people out there, but law enforcement, doesn't that sound a little bit concerning? Isn't that enough to bring somebody back in and say, let's talk about these two sentences you said, Chris? And while Katie's in the next room, hey, Katie, why did your husband say those two things? I don't know. Come on, Katie. What do you think he meant by that? Man, this case is ready to be broken open, folks. Okay? How could Chris make those two statements as facts? He didn't say, I believe, or in my opinion, or I think. He said, Sebastian finally did something right. He vanished without a trace. And he said, he will never be found. Aren't those two statements enough of suspicious activities to bring them back in and talk about that? I'm sorry, I'm getting upset over this again. I got to stop. I got to calm down. Team Green, Sebastian, it's not about me. It's not about Chris Proudfoot unless he did something, unless he's guilty. And by all evidence I'm looking at right now, I'm just saying. Trigger warning. I'm about to get into some very disturbing thoughts. So please, if you don't want to hear some disturbing thoughts, this is your opportunity to say, I don't want to hear about SubaruSteve, the shocking truth, or anything he's doing Sunday through Thursday at 8 a.m. live. Okay, you've had your chance now. Here's some things. So Chris said he did something right, but that he will never be found, right? And I started thinking about that. Never be found. That's a strong statement to make. How could you make a statement like that if you're a gambling man? What possible reasons could there be for someone never being found? I've got 6 here. Let's see. Here we go. Number 1, a little out of the world here as I am, but maybe he left the planet abducted by aliens, right? Good thing they knew to take his glasses and his yellow flashlight, because we all know aliens don't have prescription services on their ships, nor do they carry yellow flashlights. Yeah, okay, right. Right, Chris, is that the reason why you believe that? I doubt it. Number 2, what about being hidden or buried at a construction site that has now been completed? You know, I think about that. I mean, think for a second. Chris was a high power crane operator, right? He had an eagle's eye view of how many feet, distance, miles around him in a 360, looking all around. He could see where wet cement was just poured. I bet he's smart enough. Chris, tell us, are you smart enough, Chris, to look and know the prep before the cement is poured? Or do you know? Are you smart enough to know that? I'm not saying you would have done it, but are you smart enough to know that, Chris? Are you honest enough to admit it? That's the question. Should we maybe the FBI should look at construction sites that have been completed sometime after his disappearance. Number 3, and I've only got 2, and I'm sure there's others, but what would lead a person to say They will never be found if it had been an animal-assisted incident. And the animals that came to my mind, hog farm, alligators, crocodiles. How far south do you have to go in Tennessee to come across an alligator farm or alligators in the wild? And think about that. What about bears? I don't think that would be it, because I think bears would leave bones behind, and bones can be identified. So, what if it was mechanically assisted? What I came up with? A car crusher. Someone could be put in the trunk, put into a car that gets crushed and comes out as a cube. I hate to even say this one. A wood chipper with proof of a body lasts there going through a wood chipper. What about disposed at sea? Does Chris know how to operate a boat? Probably. Would he tell us? Hell no. Chris don't want to tell us anything. Prove me wrong, Chris Proudfoot. If you're such a man, stand up and talk. Speak for yourself. All I want to do is find out what happened to your son, your stepson, your wife's son. And you don't want my help? You don't want anybody's help? What are you hiding, Mr. Proudfoot? I can't even call you Mr. Proudfoot. Chris? Brings me to my fifth one. What about if it was chemically assisted? I saw a Criminal Minds episode where the unsub was using like a phone booth, all sealed, person standing in there begging for their life while acid fills the booth up. And I think it took it like 8 hours, and then there was absolutely nothing left in there. No bones, no nothing. And they opened a little pipe at the bottom, and everything flew out through a tube. No record or reference of anybody in there at all. Vanished without a trace. Right? I put drugs down, but I don't know how drugs would make him disappear. Unless he ended up on Kensington up in PA. Heaven forbid that. God, that would be terrible. Take your child up there where all the druggy addicts are and all that stuff is. And I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole. That's horrible. And number 6, which I think is a real possibility. I think out of the 6 here, this is definitely one of the top 2. I would say number 6 is, was he sold into child trafficking? Shipped overseas, never to be seen again. Is it that hard to do? I don't know. Thank God I don't know. I don't want to know that much about child trafficking unless it involves Sebastian Rogers right now. And then I want to know everything about it to prevent it from happening again. And I should think that way about every missing child. You know what? I do. And that's why, where'd it go? That's why I had bring it back up if it's still there. It's gone. Oh, there it is. That's why I've come up with the Sebastian Rogers app that I'm creating. And I better pin that. When I pin it, it says priority alert, which I like because I'm working on this one. But that's what this app's about. It's going to figure this stuff out, because all this stuff, all these possibilities would go into the database. And the more people that know about one particular thing over another, or if anybody knows about one particular thing over another, that would flag, that would pop up, right? What other ways that I have not mentioned would a body be disappeared and never found? Absolute, that you knew, never be found. What kind of confidence would that give you to just go dark in the public world? Don't have to tell anybody anything. You know a body's never going to be found. So you can sell your house, change jobs. You can move to Colombia if you want to. So out of the 6, I didn't prioritize them. If I pick the top 2, it's going to be a toss-up between 3, buried or hidden at a construction site, or animal assisted. I mean, all of them are I can't prioritize those, because sick people are capable of doing any of those. And whoever is complicit And Sebastian's disappearance is sick. Yeah. If you did anything in this case, if you made him disappear, if you're a parent or a step parent, if you're a in-law, if you're a cousin, a relative, an aunt, what uncle, a neighbor, if you know what happened to Sebastian and you're still not speaking up, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time before applications start adding new people, as it's doing in the app I'm creating. These are real cases that are being added through the app in real time. It's just a matter of time for somebody smarter than me goes, hey, I can do that. I can do what he's trying to do, right? Folks, don't forget, let's find out where the Proudfoots are, not to harass them, but to find answers. Where are they living at? Where are they working at? Are they here in Hampton Roads? If they are, I'll go knock on their door and try to talk to them. I mean, no negative energy to anybody, even if you're complicit in this case. I don't mean you any negative energy. I'm being very positive and good when I say whoever speaks up first in this case will end up doing a lot less time than those who don't speak first. And if you're in that category, you better give this some real strong thought, because your day of reckoning, thanks to technology, is coming along faster than you can even imagine. When someone like me, so naive, has no clue what he's doing on how to build an app, someone like me, 68 years old, can sit down and start building an app. Why can't you, right? So with that, what? Oh, all right. Hand it to me. Make me stretch. Thank you. From our marketing department, I'm sad to say that Barbie Hedberg, the winner of the Pizza fast food free lunch, did not claim her prize. Yep. If you want this pizza lunch, now let me take her name off of here because back into the prize pool it goes. If you want a free fast food lunch this week, all I need you to do when this live stream ends, in the comment, type your initials and your favorite number, and you'll have pizza from Little Caesars, the pizza that just keeps on pizzaing. Pizza. Okay, folks, I think that's it. Let me know on that. Have we got anything else to talk about here? Not there. Where'd my notes go? I closed them. Probably a good thing. We talked about all of that stuff. I hope you all have a great day, folks, wherever you go, whatever you do. Like me, I do it in a Subaru. Remember, you don't have to be a green frog to know you can do this and to believe if you have a vision. If you have a vision, believe in it and do something. Don't just have a vision and do nothing. To me, that's blindness, right? Okay. With that said, folks, I'm out of here. See you all tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. live for middle of the week hump day, and we'll have some fun with that. Okay, folks, have a fun day. Oh, you got 24 hours. 24 hours tomorrow for the free lunch. Put your initials and your favorite number in the comments below. Y'all have a great day. High-fiving out from the beautiful resort city of Virginia Beach. I am SubaruSteve Montgomery. High-fiving you out. Bye-bye.